Welcome to the Judy Jules and the Big Italian YouTube channel. In this video, Judy will be making her scrumptious cowboy candy. Hope you enjoy it. Oh yeah, and I did get her tools that she wanted.
You want to make sure your peppers are nice and clean. We just get the tops cut off. Getting ready to put these in the food processor. Now, sometimes you'll be looking at your stuff from the garden and, you know, it's not perfect. It's not beautiful in the same way that the store food is. But think about all the unnatural stuff they do to food to make it look beautiful. And we're better off just with the fresh, natural food from our backyard. Find a little bad spot, cut it out, just like your grandma did. We're just going to get them all like this, getting them ready for the processor. Okay, we're now to the point we have all of our peppers in this condition. Now you can slice these if you're into the perfect rings, but I've got 12 pounds here and a good little case of arthritis, so I'm going to use a small food processor. Now for years I've collected Pyrex, and I've tried to convince everyone to collect Pyrex because it is super cool. But I have a bunch of these yellow bowls, and it's a good thing because I have a lot of food and I want to get it all processed before I start the stove work. Although I do have my canner warming up just a little bit. Okay, I'm cutting them a little bit before I put them in the processor. It's making it easier. Okay, so we've got the jalapenos ready. They're processed. And so now we're going to start our syrup, our brine, if you will. I've already got my water bath canner heating up. I'm going to add a little more water to it. Now this is a quadrupled recipe. Most cowboy candy recipes are 3 pounds of jalapenos, but we started with 12, so I've quadrupled everything. So 2 cups of apple cider vinegar are going to be 8 cups of apple cider vinegar. 6 cups of sugar, now stay calm, is going to be 24 cups of sugar. But this is cowboy candy. You know, you serve it like on a block of cream cheese. A lot of the guys like to put it on a hamburger. It's awesome, and it is candy. "24 cups of sugar. Okay, here's the last 2 cups of the vinegar. "10 pounds of sugar is 22.5 cups. And we need 24. If it seems like a lot of sugar, It's because it's a lot of sugar. And it's a classic Christmas gift for homesteaders to give each other. Cowboy candy. And I love to pretend like I'm a homesteader. So it's perfect. So we're going to add 1.5 cups more. Now there are spices that you can use or not use. A lot of people use turmeric and cayenne pepper and celery seed. I don't use any of that. I just use the garlic. So a tablespoon of garlic would be 4 tablespoons of garlic in this quadrupled recipe. So I have to go get it. Put in 4 teaspoons of garlic powder. And I could put as much as 4 tablespoons if I wanted to. Those are nice heaping teaspoons. They'll be good. I have to melt this down. And everything tastes better if you're lucky enough to have your grandmother's things with you when you're cooking in the kitchen. And we're going to just melt this down. Like I say, we have the water heating up. And then I'm going to go ahead and get some jars heating up. I'm expecting this to make 36 half pints. But I will have a little bit more than that prepared on the jars. Okay, we want to get this to a full rolling boil. A boil that we can't stir down. And I am going to go ahead and add a little bit of turmeric, just for the yellow color mainly. So the full serving with the quadrupled recipe would be, see, it's a 1/2 teaspoon, so it would be 2 teaspoons. So I think I'm going to do 1. I'm a little scared of the flavor because I'm not familiar with it. 1 kind of heaping. I've made this twice. The second batch we haven't tried yet. The first batch was absolutely delicious. So we like the flavor of just the sweet and the hot and the garlic. So it's got turmeric in it now. We'll see. And we're at the point where we want to keep stirring constantly because we don't want this to start sticking or burning. Of course, I'm using fantastic old school Magnalite. So we're probably in good shape. Now, while I had the camera off, I cleaned all the mess up. Do that when you're canning. Stop every little bit and clean that up. Because if you don't, you're going to have a nightmare. Because you're using a lot of big stuff. And it stacks up on you quick. Can y'all hear the hen party outside with the door open? I just love it. We have a chicken coop on that side and a chicken coop on that side. So the door can hear everybody when they start singing. It might be my favorite part of chickens. Although really the favorite part of chickens is that while nobody wants to, you can straight up live on eggs. Your dogs can straight up live on eggs. Your chickens can pretty much straight up live on eggs. And then you have the meat and the self-sufficiency. You can let your breedy mamas hatch chickens, or you can use your incubators. I'm an incubator girl. Although next spring I may let one of those girls brood some chickens. I don't know. I'm breeding chickens for the rainbow egg basket. I have 2 different mentors. Leslie over at the 14 Acres has stopped making videos because, you know, trolls and commenters can be so mean. She just couldn't take it. And Jeff at Bobblehead Homestead, he's my #1 guy. He's still actively making videos, and I get to see him in person at YouTube events. And I mean, he's great. He's going for the dark chocolate, the beautiful blues, the dark olive eggs. Breeding chickens is really, really fun. All right, I'm going to turn the camera off and come back when I've got a full rolling boil. And we'll let it do that for a minute or 2, and then we'll add our jalapenos. Okay, it came to a rolling boil, and I boiled it for about a minute, minute and a half. Turn the fire down just a touch. I'm going to add my jalapenos. And of course, nobody wants hot syrup splashed on them. So don't get in too big of a hurry with this. I don't know, I think maybe I can. Maybe I can get it in there like this. Now, if you really like to do everything with your hands, wear some gloves. But when we had the store, and I had a little Cajun kitchen in the back, I purposely set up to where they could see me do all of my cooking. Because Cajun cooking is really so different than other kinds of cooking. And I wanted them to see that it was real Cajun food. Even though I don't have the accent. I lived my 10 years in the Atchafalaya Basin. So I kind of got in the habit. I'm used to using spoons and stuff. Because people do not like to see you touch the food. This is plenty heavy. Plenty heavy. Alright. Did that get y'all praying a little bit right there? Alright, I'm going to use my hand. Ooh, I mean, we got a batch. Alright. This is a little bit harder with the camera on. Like when it was boiling hard, if I would have turned the camera on to show you, there would have been a disaster. I had to stay with it. Here, I got this piece, didn't get chopped up very well. I'm going to bring this back to a boil, and I'm going to boil it 5 to 6 minutes. I'm going to switch to a wooden spoon where I have more stir power. Okay. Now this will come back to a boil pretty quick. Do not leave it. You won't make many batches of Cowboy Candy before you boil it over on the stove. You don't want to go there. Very hard to clean up because it's a lot of sugar. A lot of sugar in this recipe. Okay, the hard boil is just getting going here. It's trying to bust through. I'm not going to start timing it yet. I'm going to let it go a little bit harder, and then I will do a pretty serious time on it. 5 to 6 minutes. And I wanted to say, when I was getting the peppers out of the bowl and I just gave up and used my hands are hot. So I don't recommend that. I had never done that before. Not the best plan with the jalapenos. But it's all good. Okay, so now our jars are really hot, and our jalapenos are really hot, and our canner is really hot. And we're going to use a slotted spoon. Load them with peppers. You don't want a lot of juice in when you're doing this part because you want your jar to stay full. And we want to get all the air pockets out. So use a chopstick or a knife, whatever you have. You want that syrup to be able to go all the way down. Can y'all hear the chickens? My beautiful chickens are singing. I'm going to use a clean towel. This moist. And then clean it real good. I don't have the little magnet on the stick. I told Tony I needed that. Because of space, I'm going to go ahead and start loading them in. because of all the syrup and the sugar, you really need to be diligent about cleaning the outside. So just go on finger tight on your rings. Okay, so we've had 10 minutes at a hard boil. I took the lid off, lifting it away from me because of the steam. And I've let them sit for 5 minutes, and I'm going to take them out. And it's going to be a lot easier this time because I was using this thing upside down. Okay. Definitely works better this way. And it's not recommended to dip the moisture off the lid. They want you to hold it upright. But most of the experienced girls do. They tip it with no problem, but I better not. Okay, there they are. I've got 2 more batches I'm going to do. But anyway, I'm glad y'all came and watched me with my tiny bit of experience I have canning. See, if I can do it, anybody can do it. Okay, take care.